Normally, under normal circumstances, my voice is loud enough, but I don't want anyone to miss anything. Just briefly, my name is James Garcia. Am I on mic? Can you hear? Can everyone hear? Okay, great. James Garcia. I am here in a couple of different capacities. I am here as a representative of the Real Arizona Coalition, which was one of the sponsors of this. If you look at your agendas, you'll see mention of us, and we have a website, and we're new. And if you're interested in joining us, please do. Beyond that, I am also a Director of Communications for the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which is one of the supporters of this event, help promote it, and is part of the coalition. I have a background also briefly in journalism, about 25 years of journalism. In fact, my first job was in Laredo, Texas in 1986, my first reporting job. And guess what was a big issue in 1986 in Laredo, Texas? And so I have a lot of experience having been around this story, written about this as a commentator, as a columnist, as a reporter, and I still learn things today. I think this has been a fabulous event. To me, ultimately, if you leave here, no matter what your position is on this subject, with facts, some of the facts that you have seen, or avenues to get more facts, because you can get that. Is that me? That may not be me. Okay, great. If you leave here with facts that you can take with you, as opposed to simply discussing this issue on an emotional level, then I think we've achieved a tremendous amount today. So I want to thank, of course, everyone who's been involved in this, including the Interfaith Group, Interfaith Leaders, and of course, Todd Line Group. So how are we doing? Am I okay? Okay, great. All right, so to begin, I'm going to be moderating this, and I'll introduce our panelists in just a moment. But part of my background also includes theater. I'm a playwright and theater producer here in town. And it happens that we were going to have a short play called Build a Wall, which dealt topically with this. As I mentioned earlier, one of our actors' father was ill, taken ill, and he had to go to Chicago for surgery. Not the actor's surgery, but his father. And so I'm going to present a very short monologue that is actually based on a play, a full-length play about the life of Raul H. Castro, former governor, Raul H. Castro from Arizona, who was also U.S. ambassador to 3 countries and was born in Sonora and came across the border during the Mexican Revolution at the age of 2. And so I'd like to just read this quickly as kind of a setup for what we're going to be listening to today and the rest of the discussion. One of my mottos in life has always been, I never wanted to be loved. No, never loved. I wanted to be respected. Because if you're respected, then you're part of the community. Now, my father was respected. Francisco Castro was of Basque and Mexican origin, 6 foot 2 inches, 240 pounds. Husky, not fat. He was a pearl diver from a fishing village in the tip of Baja California, a place called San Jose del Cabo. But he never went to school. No, he never went to school. Now, my mother was respected as well. Rosario Acosta was small but tough, very tough. She was from a village up the coast from where my father was born, a pueblito called Santa Rosalia. And they said that's where they fell in love. Now me, I was born in Cananea, Sonora, not too far from me. My family moved there just before I was born on June the 12th, 1916. It was during the Mexican Revolution. The family had moved there because my father had heard that there was work in the mines. Cananea was a company town. Papa worked at the smelter at the Cananea Consolidated Copper Company. The pay wasn't bad, but the conditions were terrible. So he joined the union, Sindicato 65, union number 65. But that's not the end of the story. Because my father always spoke his mind, he soon became a leader. The respect of his compañeros in the union, however, earned him the company's disdain. Naturally, they labeled him a rabble-rouser and arranged for him to be put in prison. My mother worried that he would be hanged. Back then, troublemakers got hung all the time. Francisco Castro was not hanged. Instead, my mother managed, by the sheer force of her spirit, to convince the authorities to release him from prison by promising that we would not only leave Cananea, but Mexico también. So that's what we did. We crossed the border at Naco in 1918. I was only 2, So I don't remember much about that day. But as the story goes, here was this young couple with 11 children, and I was the youngest at the time, coming to a new country. And we crossed, and the immigration inspector told my father, "Castro family, you're in the United States of America now. The rest is up to you." He was right. That's the way we wanted it. That's what America's all about. Well, my father found work right away at the Phelps Dodge plant in Douglas. We lived in Portoville. That was the Mexican town nearby, set up by the smelter. And like me, Arizona was very young in those days. I remember when Governor George W.P. Hunt came to town. He was the state's first governor. I must have been 6 or 7. And the newspapers used to call him the Old Walrus because he was big and fat and bald, and he had thick glasses and a big bushy handlebar mustache. And the governor had come to Douglas to celebrate the 4th of July. And as soon as we all heard, a lot of the kids hurried down to the 10th Street Park. It was a big occasion. And not because of him. We didn't know who he was. It's because there were free hot dogs and soda pop. And all we ever got to eat was frijoles y arroz con pollo, a veces un poco de marrano, no sé. But to us, a hot dog was a delicacy. And a Coca-Cola, like champagne. When we got to the park, me and the boys, we got our food and we plopped down on the grass next to the stage. And after a lot of boring jibber-jabber by the chief of police and the sheriff and a lot of men in local muckety-mucks, the governor got going on his speech. In our great state of Arizona, the opportunities are boundless. Here on the vast landscape, any man can find his fortune. To succeed, he only need to have grit and will and determination. Arizona is a place where any man can excel. Why, ladies and gentlemen, one day, even one of these little barefooted Mexican boys sitting here could become governor. He was pointing at me. But knowing how politicians can be, I don't know if he meant what he said. Those words turned out to be prophecy. But that's not the end of the story. Thank you.